G'day guys, welcome for the next episode. In this one, I'll be interviewing Tom Toolan. He's a British citizen and he's been fighting for custody of his daughter Rhian Toolan for many years. She's been abducted to Poland by her mother, and this battle is still going until today. Sorry about the audio. I tried to do some magic and enhance the audio a little bit. It's my bad how it's been recorded, not really well. The settings I still need to get used to and play around with it. Hopefully the next video should have a decent audio. Thanks for watching.
Tom, thank you for joining me that early. Where are you from, Tom?
Well, originally I was from Liverpool. I've been all over the country.
Where are you calling now from?
Now I'm from Mexico.
Okay. Okay. Far away from Australia. So myself, I'm in Australia. Can you tell me something about yourself? If what would you like to share?
Well, okay, so I'm 63 years old. I work in the UK National Health Service. I'm head of sustainability for my thing. I've had an unusual career, quite a demanding life. And in 2018, everything changed. Majorly everything changed. That was the year my daughter was criminally abducted to Poland.
Okay.
She remains to this day.
I went a little bit through your X account, and that's what I've gathered, and that's why I contacted you. And it seems like we have a similar fate, unfortunately, in life, and that's why I want to talk to you today. And I really wanted to hear about your experiences, and I think Australia and England has really similar problems, and that's the family court. So could you maybe start with maybe beginning of you out of the relationship for a while? I suppose you say 2018.
Yeah. So. Okay, so if I go back quite a bit then.
Yeah, how it started, and if there was any red flags, and yes, from the beginning, if you could.
So, I'd just come out of a challenging divorce, and I was doing a master's degree in London, and a friend introduced me to what is my ex. Culturally, she's quite different.
Yes, I could believe.
Yeah, I was a bit weary, I guess, really. But anyway, one thing led to another. She asked if she could come and live with me in Suffolk. I said yeah, and that's sort of how it all started. My daughter was born in 2013.
Okay.
Her mother was not very maternal. I'd helped her start her own business. She was more focused on her business. So she was quite unhappy when she found out she was pregnant.
Oh, right.
So that was quite a rocky road for that 9 months. So she made it clear that after my daughter was born, she had no intentions of I don't know how to say it really.
Looking after her, or?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. She I don't know. I'm you don't know what goes on in people's heads, but she. I just put it down to really stress and depression and all the other things related to childbirth. But one thing she said to me is that she had no intention of looking after my daughter. So I think it was, I can't quite remember, it was within 6 weeks of my daughter being born that she went back to work.
Okay.
And I became a stay-at-home dad stroke doing work, because I was doing consultancy work at the time, so I had a lot of flexibility about what I did, when I did it, type of thing. And basically, she focused on her work. So me and my daughter just, I guess, made a life for ourselves within a relationship.
What was she doing, Tom? Your ex-partner?
She was a landscape gardener and garden designer.
Oh, okay. Quite hand-on.
Yeah, I mean, very physical.
Yeah.
She was hard work. She was very talented in terms of garden design and incredibly hard working. Very, very focused on that. And that's why our business did really well. Considering it was only hair type of thing,
Yeah, sure.
So, I would never take that away from her. I mean, she was educated to master's level in Poland and came over to the UK to do some more gardening qualifications. She'd been in the UK 23 years before I'd met her.
Oh, fair enough, all right.
Yeah. And she always said she would never go back to Poland. But, things change. So,
can I just stop you? Was it her first child? That was your first child, yourself and hers as well?
It was her first child. It wasn't my first child.
Oh, so you have from previous relationship already?
So I had a child from the previous relationship.
Okay.
So basically, she stepped away from anything to do with my daughter, and that never really stopped. But then, because life was getting difficult in the UK in terms of financial terms, I reckon got a proper job, and Rhian went into nursery. So then I sort of returned to my career a little bit, but was still quite focused on my daughter in the evening and at weekends and stuff like that, where her mother was carried on being the same, really. Even when she wasn't working, she didn't really show any interest in the end.
Okay.
The relationship continued to deteriorate.
So was there any arguments at this stage, or like anything major, or was just like a standard, couple knick-knacking?
I wouldn't say that there was no fighting. There was no fighting as such, but there was a lot of distress.
Yeah.
Is how I would describe it.
And you can feel it in the air. It's just consumed the area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing. Well, not guessing. In reality, I did withdraw from the relationship because there was no support.
Yes.
Not that I should expect it, But so, from her point of view, she probably started to feel isolated, as I'd already felt isolated. So, in essence, we went our own separate ways at the end of the day. But the decision I regret the most was when we did separate, but I didn't take my daughter with me.
Yes.
Now, people will say, well, why didn't you do that? And the response I would give is, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I wish I'd done it differently.
Certainly.
The second thing is, if I'd taken my daughter with me, the chances are the courts would have taken her straight back.
Yes.
And I didn't want to put my daughter through that level of stress, notwithstanding the financial burden, because, I wouldn't have got legal aid.
Mm-hmm.
What I did, as the relationship deteriorated, you start to pick up little nuances. I picked up my partner's iPad, and she was researching domestic abuse.
Yes.
And I challenged her. She didn't say anything, but when we did separate, clearly she'd done her research, and she'd also been to some UK women's charities, and she used the playbook for divorce, in essence. So it started off with, when we did separate, it started off with her calling the shots about when I could and couldn't see my daughter.
Yeah.
I had false allegations, quite nasty false allegations, rape, financial abuse, slavery,
Wow.
financial control. Anyway,
Oh,
went back to the course.
can we stop before you get to the court? Yeah, you went through a fair bit already. So when did you, what year was it? How old was your daughter when you separated?
Okay, so Rhian, so this is around 2017, so Rhian would be 4-ish, 4.5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she could absorb already what's happening, and she could be affected. How was your ex-partner relationship with her at this stage? Was she trying to persuade her to get her on her side?
Well, initially, Rhian was because of the lack of a relationship with her mum.
Mm-hmm.
It was always a bit fractious, and culturally, the Polish, the culture is quite, what's the word? People would say they're almost bordering being rude when they talk to you. There's no please, no thank you. There's no. It's just. It is what it is.
I'm laughing because you surely pick up my accent. So somewhere from that area. I'm from Czech Republic. I would say that we do have this sort of attitude. So that's why I smiled. But yeah, it is straightforward and pretty to the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not.
It doesn't fit well in parts of the UK, especially in the south of England. But my daughter is spanning two cultures, her nursery. So she's been with her father, who's generally polite, a gentleman, and focused on his child. And a mother who's focused on her business and looking back at things, probably saw my daughter as more of an inconvenience. Where I never saw my daughter as an inconvenience. It was a blessing.
Yes.
So Rhian was spanning two cultures of, she predominantly in an English nursery with an English dad, with a Polish mother who was frank to the point. You do as you're told when I tell you, do you know what I mean? And again, you could say, well, there's not actually anything wrong with that in particular.
Into the
generation.
Yeah, into the point. It cannot go too far, Yeah.
Yeah. But that's usually compensated for by those moments of tender love and care.
Yes, absolutely.
Every parent shares.
Yes.
You can be cross with your child, but still want to hug them and kiss them because they're crying, even though you just told them off, type of thing.
Yeah.
So she didn't have that bit,
Mm-hmm.
And there were other things. I mean, I remember I went away for a couple of days, and I came back, and my daughter was quite distressed, and I asked my partner what was going on. She said, I don't really know. She's just crying all the time. So when I went to change her nappy, her genitals were swollen and red. So I took her directly to hospital, and it was an infection.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned, well, I don't know if that's what I realised, it was a like severe form of nappy rash.
Mm-hmm.
And I would change my daughter's nappies, really regularly, but my partner didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think things like that
Neglect
made it difficult for the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was in pain, she was missing her dad, and Mum wasn't vigilant enough, maybe, I don't know, you don't. But, and that didn't help. So, yeah, their relationship was a bit fractious. I remember, for example, one weekend where I had to repair my car and I had to repair her van for work. And I said to her, please can you look after Rhian for me? And rather than looking after Rhian was just doing her own thing in the garden. And Rhian hurt herself. And I just bit and said, you're supposed to be looking after her. That means you entertain her. So I had to stop what I was doing and sort of leave it. I'll do the car another day. It was just...
Yeah.
But when you're up to your arse in crocodiles, you don't always see what's going on or don't realise the impact of what's going on.
And always you're always hoping that it will get better. The relationship maybe with the age of the child will eventually get better. Maybe it was some sort of struggle at the beginning, but if it's not getting better, eventually the relationship deteriorates and go pear-shaped.
Yeah, and in essence that's what happened. Although it wasn't my decision, and going back to what I said about not taking Rhian with me.
Yeah.
That was a horrendous mistake. It was based on previous experience of other dads in the UK.
Yeah. So you initiated the separation with your ex-partner, I understand. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Did you approach your lawyer before?
No.
You just
I didn't.
wanted peaceful separation and.
Yeah.
Yes, split everything and go 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we had anything.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well, the most precious thing that you had, it's been stolen from you, so that's unfortunate. Yeah. So how was the process then? When you told your ex-partner that you do want to separate, was there some sort of hysterical drama, or did she try to convince you to stay together, or did she just was happy for it that it finally happened, or?
For me it was relief.
Yes.
I'm incredibly hostile.
Mm-hmm.
In the months that followed, it became very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered on one occasion when I was picking Rhian up, the term in the UK is a common assault.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing things in front of my daughter, in front of other people, which were not appropriate, and towards me, and trying to use Rhian in a way. She was deliberately upset me.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter loved me, so if she did anything to me, it did automatically and immediately impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
Impact on her, rather.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There was also other things like the bribery, sweets and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
the manipulation.
Manipulation, yeah.
Yeah. And And I did speak to someone, and they just said to me, well, we'll report it to the police. And I did, but they weren't interested.
Yeah.
Which is quite common. But anyway, because she's been difficult with me seeing Rhian, so what in essence what was happening is, I want money from you to look after your daughter. And I said, well, okay, well, I don't mind doing that. But we've got to work together here. So you're running the business, so you need time for your business. So I will have Rhian as much as you need her to have her, as much as I want to have her. So you can still focus on earning a living, and no, she didn't want to do that. So it became very stressed, because in essence, what she was doing was, it was almost cutting her nose off to spite her face. She would do things to spite me, but as a consequence, would also dig her own hole. So, where in the past she'd work Saturday and Sunday, she stopped doing that because she didn't want me to have my daughter. So, and then she'd complain she had no money.
Yeah.
And during the week, she would leave Rhian in nursery for significantly longer than was reasonable in my view.
Yeah, so she can catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was becoming really quite difficult. In and around the same time, we had Brexit.
Oh, yeah.
Where the UK had voted to leave the EU. That brought another dynamic to things, and my partner was scared. She was scared that her citizenship from the UK would be removed and she would be sent back to Poland.
Oh, really?
That was her fear.
Weird.
On the other side of it, I was concerned that my daughter was going to be abducted to Poland. I'd already, looked at that. So I went to court, and I went to court for what's called a prohibited steps order, which basically prevents her from taking Rhian out of the country. I represented myself in court, and that was a mistake. So what happened was, he gave a sub-story to the court, which went along the lines of, I've been in the UK 22 years, Rhian goes to school in the UK, I have no intention of going back to Poland, my business is in the UK, and so on and so forth. So therefore, I'm not going anywhere. And I was saying to the court, I understand all of that, but the risk remains, and I want you to address the risk. And because and because I was passionate, and there's a fine line between passion and aggression.
Yes.
I came across to the court as aggressive. At the time, I had my daughter's passport. I didn't want to give it back. No intentions of giving it back. But I was made to give my daughter the passport back. I suppose I could have justified the court and said no, but I was a law-abiding citizen.
So the court ordered you to hand over the passport, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I lost the case. So. And they did go to Poland on holiday, but they came back. So I found that stressful.
Obviously.
So things continued to get, things were difficult. I wanted to see my daughter without being dictated to from an agreed plan. All she was interested in was money. All I was interested in was my daughter. So in the end, I went back to the court. And I went back to the court to get more time with my daughter. Because, I didn't have a criminal background. I've never been a threat. I had what we call in UK criminal disclosure.
So, Tom, what was the arrangement until this point? So,
it was just every other weekend.
Every other weekend, because your ex-partner wanted to be like that. It was purely her decision.
Yeah. So nothing during the week. No Father's Day. No half the holidays. No half Christmas. Nothing. It was just every other weekend, and that was it. There was no.
So you went to court with a proposal of 50-50, or?
Well, I went to court to ask for more time. I did ask for 50-50. I asked for it twice, and the first time the court said no. The second time, he didn't say no, but they increased my time with my daughter significantly. Now, there was another element to it. When I went to court to get more time...
Grab yourself a water, Tom.
When I went to court to get myself more time with my daughter, he also went to court to take my daughter to Poland.
Yeah.
So, and what happened is the two cases were then combined to become an application for leave to remove Rhian from the UK, and my application to have significantly more time with my daughter. So, to cut a long story short, that resulted in a 3-day hearing. Prior to the 3-day hearing, the judge had said to Maya, what is it you want? Because you've made all allegations of abuse by your partner, but you'd also say you want to go to Poland. So he said, make your mind up, really. What is it you want? So she said, I want to go to Poland. So that's the route we went down. So that was the position I was defending, including getting more time with my daughter. So now, in her application to go to Poland, all of false malicious allegations were made. Because that's what they're told to do. But she had no evidence. She had no evidence because nothing happened. That was the base. That was the evidence. That became part of my evidence. Was there was no evidence because it was all made up. And because I was of good repute, that stood well. And I also, I was good repute independently. It wasn't just me saying or my friend. It was a statement of fact. So they were all dismissed.
Oh, that's good.
So there were no issues, and I was then interviewed by what we call CAFCAS in the UK, which is the Court Family Advisory Services. So they're basically court social workers who do an investigation into both parents and come to a decision about what's in the best interest of the child. So they interviewed my ex and they interviewed me, and the Court Advisory Services said, although the balance was very fine, it was clear that my intentions were in the best interest of my daughter. Where my partner's intentions were quite clearly to alienate my daughter from the father, from me.
Tom, did they use that actual wording? They didn't use alienation using. Okay.
Yeah. So in the proposal that my ex made, she said, I would take Rhian to Poland. The father would not be allowed to see his daughter for 3 to 6 months. After the 3 to 6 month period, he'd be allowed video contact, and basically she shot herself in the foot because her statement was clear. So her statement to CAFCAS was, I want to take our daughter to Poland, and I want to have nothing to do with the father. I've been here. and this is the punishment. Well, she didn't say that. That's what came across to Kafkas and the court. So the report from Kafkas was in my favour, and my benefit. So, at the end of the 3-day trial, she lost her case, removed her from the UK. The judge split everything in half. So I got Father's Day, I got half the Christmas holidays, half the summer holidays. I got everything that I'd asked for. And 6 weeks later, Rhian was abducted. So, and that was a bit of a conspiracy between my daughter's nursery and my ex.
Yeah. So you suspect that she told them probably some of those false allegations that she tried in front of the court, and the nursery just tried to help her to get the child out.
She started having a relationship with one of the owners of the nursery, who had offered her a home and a job.
Okay.
But his ex-partner then made threats against him, which resulted in her becoming homeless, and my daughter becoming homeless. That was blamed on me. And she went into a woman's refuge, wouldn't give me any details, didn't tell me where she was going, who she was going with. And then, I started to get the other little indications. So, for example, Rhian would come and say, Mummy's buying a house in Poland, and we're going to live in Poland.
Yeah.
That I would text my ex and say, Rhian has told me this, what is going on, and I'd get a load of denials back.
Yeah.
I even went to her solicitor and said, you need to provide me with some assurance that my daughter is not going to be abducted. They did.
What sort of assurance the solicitor offered for you?
My ex and Rhian were going on holiday to Poland, and I was constantly saying, that there's something not right. Rhian's telling me she's going to live in Poland. The mother had put up the rented house. Had left the rented house, but that was now on the market. They were living in temporary accommodation. So all signs were there, but because of the way my ex-partner was with the judge made it quite clear that after the 3-day hearing, my ex went back to the judge and said, I don't like the court arrangements, I want to change them. The judge said no. And at one point, I just said to the judge, I need to leave now because she's arguing with you about something we've agreed, and this is for you two to discuss. I don't need to be part of that. So she hadn't covered herself in grace anyway, and the judge stood his ground.
That's good.
And then it was much later when I was in court in Poland, and I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah.
I was saying an email that what in essence was her new boyfriend had said to her, I will help you get Rhian out of the country.
Okay. That's a bit of a story you got there, Tom. Can I just clarify something? If I understand it correctly, in England, you don't need the signature of both parents on the... Do the children have a passport there, or is just on a...
Yeah, so...
How does it work there? Okay,
so... one or both parents can apply for a passport. So I was the one who applied for Rhian's passport. And in essence, I was the only one who could do anything with that passport. So no, 2 signatures aren't required. You can. I'm not quite sure what it. No, you don't need two signatures now. Yeah, you can still get a passport now without two signatures. You just need the details that they're asking for. Yeah, and border control in the UK in terms of a parent leaving the UK with a child is not seen as suspicious unless it's a father.
Yeah, and unless the child is on some sort of list, no-fly list, probably. Yeah.
And a father bringing a child into the UK will be questioned if he's on his own. So, because coming into the UK, they're aware of abduction. Going out of the UK, they're not aware of abduction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that is a major failing in UK border security. Really what needs to happen is any parent, no matter whether it's a mum or a dad or a grandparent, needs to have written permission, even contact details, to go on holiday. In the UK, it's the going on holiday that's really important, because that abducting a child under the guise of going on holiday is a legal loophole in the UK. Because a child abduction can be a criminal offence, except if you go on holiday and just don't bring your child back.
That is.
That's called. It's called illegal. It's illegal retention. And in the UK, there's a law called it's actually case law. It's called a Nikolai problem, and basically is if you leave the country on the guise of a holiday and don't come back, it's not a criminal offence. Now, it took me 2 years, but I proved that my daughter's abduction was a criminal offence. So there is a European arrest warrant out. My ex-partner and my daughter's on Interpol as missing.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rhian was abducted.
Yeah.
Against the court order prohibiting their removal from the UK.
What year was that?
That was 2018, August 2018.
Oh, it was still 2018. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went straight back to the family court and I said, my daughter's been abducted. They issued me within 3 days a return order. I sent that to my ex via email and by post to ignore it. I then started proceedings under the civil aspect of international child abduction, called the Hague Convention. That I had three hearings for that, all flexible methods.
So where you have to go to Brussels, or where's that happening?
No, that was in Poland. It was in a place called Wood.
So you have to travel. You have to travel to Poland, or is it through video link?
No, I had to travel to Poland. So
Okay.
At our own expense.
Yeah, that's a bit of a financial.
No, the whole cost to date is probably over £150,000.
And you've been predominantly representing yourself, or you just did that on the first time?
I only did that in the UK. In Poland, I paid for the solicitor, which is why it ended up so expensive. Right?
Yeah.
So so we went to the Hague Convention. I won the Hague. My daughter, in terms of the UK, was ordered. There was a 6 weeks appeal process. She appealed. At the same time, she went into hiding. So she was doing an appeal while she was in hiding. So we did the appeal. She lost her appeal. She lost her appeal in the summer of 2019.
Okay.
She then...
Almost a year later then? Almost, yeah.
She continued in hiding and made what they call a cessation appeal with the Supreme Court of Poland. In the interim period, the court had ordered that my daughter be found and returned to the UK. And we did 3 recovery attempts in September of 2019. They all failed. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ordered my daughter's return to the UK.
Can I just stop you? How does it work if you have an attempt of recovering? So you drive around to Poland and try to find your daughter and take her home, or?
So you're appointed what's called a curator or a court guardian. They will organise the recovery with the police.
Okay.
You rock up at where they believe the child is, and you get told a load of lies, and we're going to go on a wild goose chase. So the first one we did, we rocked up in the daytime. We found the grandmother in the house. The grandmother said that my daughter was at school, but gave us the wrong school. We went to the school denied everything. And then it just became, the next 2 visits to the house, it was in darkness. So they'd left and gone. And then we returned home heartbroken. And
Tom, that sounds like really traumatic experience. Like for you, and especially for the kid, that must be unreal.
it was well. It wasn't pleasant, that's for sure. It was financially incredibly draining. Financially, it was awful because the amount of money being asked for from the solicitor was horrendous. And if it wasn't from the ingenuity of my wife now, but my partner then, I'd have drowned.
Yeah, you would give up.
Yeah,
probably.
Financially.
Yeah, financially.
It just wasn't possible.
And that's the game. I think on the end of the day, it's the game. All the solicitors, they just try to make a quick buck. It's everywhere same, unfortunately.
It is. Yeah. It's horrendous. So really.
You were at the school.
Yeah, they just denied everything. And what I realised is that when they're doing a recovery attempt, they don't do their homework. Because they don't want to do it. They don't want to recover the child.
Okay.
The police don't want to do it. The courts don't want to do it. The curators don't want to do it. And future recovery attempts, before the recovery attempt would take place, I would write a synopsis about why it's going to fail. And 9 out of 10 times, that synopsis was right. You know, it would fail because the sister was part of the local police force.
Yep.
So, you know, I didn't know whether she was feeding her information. There was clearly collusion between the court and the curator, and there was lots of things going on. Yeah.
So how did it continue on the end? So
how did it continue? So what happened next was I went to the High Court in the UK.
Yeah.
I got another court order ordering my daughter's return to the UK. That was sent to Poland. I then went down another procedure called Brussels 2A, which was for the enforcement of UK court orders in Poland. I won that. In total, we did 8 recovery attempts. Everyone failed.
That's crazy.
One was the 6th of March, 2025, so this year.
Oh, wow.
That failed. That failed because there was collusion between the school and courts, Polish authorities, I'm not sure. In the meantime, I've gone to the European Court of Human Rights. And on the 16th of October this year, I won my case in the European Court of Human Rights. And they condemned Poland for not enforcing the court orders. And whilst all this was going on, I'd also been in contact with the European Commission for Justice, who, based on my case and case of other UK dads and other dads in the EU, brought what's called infringement proceedings against Poland.
Oh, wow.
And those infringement proceedings are still ongoing. So I have regular contact with the European Commission for Justice, the European Parliament Coordinator for Children's Rights, about my case and about the case of the other dads and so on. Yeah. So yeah, and that's sort of where we are today, really. There is a European arrest warrant out for my abductor. My daughter is on Interpol. I now support other dads.
As I've seen, yeah.
Support. And in the UK, we campaign for better laws. So in, I can't remember, I think it was October, we went to the Prime Minister. We handed a letter to his office, and I asked for a meeting with the Prime Minister. I've not had a response yet. I asked for a meeting with the UK ambassador to Poland because she changed. So we're still actively pursuing it. Whilst on the balance of probabilities that I may not get my daughter back, I'm trying to make it much better for people, for parents who come after me. You know, for parents who may go through the same stuff that I've got through, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. You know, if you've got problems in a relationship, you don't go steal a child. That's the last thing you do. What you do is you can to protect the child. You do everything you can to make sure the child has a loving, caring relationship with both parents. And what's happening in society, and it's not just in the UK, it's UK, Australia, Canada, America.
Yeah.
The demonisation of fathers and the use of false and malicious allegations is an ongoing thing. You know, and we're actually building a society of one-parent families where children don't get the love, guidance and support of their fathers. And there is a consequence to that.
Yeah.
And the consequence are the prison population is full of males. And it's males from single-parent backgrounds.
Yep.
So, but society pays a price for that. And it will pay a price in the future. And then if you go on the slightly wider issues of the general demonisation of men and boys, you know, because if you look at the mainstream press,
we all seen it, yeah. Especially the UK TV show from Netflix, Adolescents, that just turned my stomach upside down. If you have ever heard about it.
Yeah.
That was just absolutely ridiculous. And then your prime minister just went and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna promote it and play it in every school." That guy is just unreal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is absolutely tragic that under the heading of equality that this is going on. I mean, and the announcement you had earlier on in the week is boys are going to be taught to respect girls and women. And I don't have a problem with that, but it works both ways.
Yeah.
Children, young people, need to understand that the respect thing is a mutual respect for both parties. It's not synonymous with a male or female. It's about being a decent person. It's about being a decent human being. It's not about whether you're a male or a female. It's just about being a decent person, and I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
In society, there's good and bad in society. In all elements of society, it's not specifically men, it's not specifically women. It is what society today.
I absolutely agree with you on all the points, Tom. It's unreal, and it is spread wide across the globe. There's probably just a handful of nations that it would not apply to. It's from north to south, east to west. It's unbelievable, and it seems like a plan for some reason. And I clap to you that there's a people like you who are willing to speak out. And seems like in England it's a bit more of a push to promote these men's rights than here in Australia, but we are trying to work on it here, as we're still ridiculed as misogynists because we just want to be heard. But I think you guys doing in the UK good work.
Yeah, I mean, I've got family in Australia, and I also. For some reason, I've got contacted, but people from Canada will contact me on X. And look, to be fair, I get contacted from all over the world, and the story is exactly the same. No matter where you go, the story is exactly the same. The playbook is exactly the same. And the sad thing is, in the false and malicious allegations industry type of thing, there are real victims, there are real people who are getting hurt and are not getting the support. And I think that's sad. It's people, and I use the word people are being abused or are in really desperate situation, needs help.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what sex they are, it doesn't matter what they identify as. Cruelty is cruelty, abuse is abuse. You just, and it's sad, but to be specific about half the population, it feels like a plan.
And it's prioritizing its half of the population, What I have to say, it's the only positive about Australia is that we do require here to have 2 signatures for the passport of the child. So that's probably the only thing I can think of that is probably better than in UK. Otherwise, it's pretty much same, And we had no problem to argue to put my son on the no-fly list. The judge was quite happy to do that, so it looks like a standard procedure. So that's good, And my ex-partner is from Colombia, so it would be probably very complicated to try enforce something like that, And I'm quite, I was quite surprised when you said that actually the European court granted you, or you won the court that they give you that you're right. That's quite good. Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything. That's they're not obliged to follow the rules like every normal person would. But
the thing is they are. But it takes a long time. So I am one person.
Yes, you need a horde.
I spoke to Dad who's on the same or part of the journey that I'm on, and I say, look, if you mentally and physically can, pursue every avenue you can, and that includes going to the European Court of Human Rights. because the more people that do it, if you've got one person making an allegation against a country, you're very isolated. But if you've got 20 people from 20 countries, all against the same country, then there's an issue. Now, it is known that Poland is a hotspot for child abductions from the UK. 523 children abducted from the UK to Poland. The number of abductions from the UK is over 1,300 a year. That's a lot of children who are being removed from a country that is supposed to be protecting children.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, take away the civil aspect of a relationship breakdown. This is what in the UK call safeguarding the sheep. Who's protecting? Who's looking after the children's best interest? Because the law isn't.
Yeah.
And the parents can't be left to do it on their own. So, so there's a long way to go, as you know. But things like this help. You know? People know they're not alone.
Yes. And that's what I'm a little bit trying to do as well. So just gather up the stories. Even the tough ones like yourself, I believe we could talk about it for a long time if we get into detail, because you got to require something there. I have to tell you, my it's not as real, even though my child is. So, do you have any contact with your daughter at all? Like, at all, nothing, no pictures, no phone calls?
So the last time I had contact was July 2019, which was on my birthday. A big telephone call.
Wow.
I do find photographs.
Okay.
And this is one of the things which is quite ironic. So, my daughter appears in the Polish press, usually getting an award for something. She's on a school Facebook page. So I quite often write to the courts and to other authorities, and I say the following statement. You can't find my daughter, but the Polish police, the local Polish press knows where my daughter is. My daughter's school knows where my daughter is. Actually, the fire brigade knows where my daughter is, but the Polish police, the curator, and the courts don't know where my daughter is. Why is that? And the why is that is because you don't care and you're not interested. Because if you were enforcing court orders with integrity and honesty, you would know where my daughter is. You would know she attends school. You would know she was going for a presentation by the fire department because you had done your research. And there's a term called hiding in plain sight. So that's what happens. Yeah. And because they know they're safe, that Poland is not going to enforce a court order, even of its own court. You remember, under the Hague Convention, all the court orders under the Hague are issued by the Polish court. So, I've got a court order from the Supreme Court of Poland which says my daughter's abduction is criminal. Her return to the UK is ordered, but she's still there.
That's just unbelievable.
So, and even with the change of Prime Minister in Poland, Donald Tusk, who was pro-European, we were expecting substantial changes in the relationship between the UK and Poland. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just smoke and mirrors. And my case is at ministerial level with the UK government and with the Polish government. So, I've got the Minister for Europe and the UK government talking to the Minister of Justice and the Polish government. Yes, my daughter remains in Poland. But I can't go anywhere else now. Who else do I talk to?
There is literally nobody higher than...
Yeah, I mean...
not even your king.
No.
He wouldn't do.
And the thing is, it's not just in the UK. There's 20 plus dads, 36 children illegally detained in Poland, all subject to court orders. The Polish embassy in the UK reported a child abduction. They have the evidence in writing. The child was prohibited from leaving the country with a prohibited steps order. The Polish embassy in London still issued emergency travel documents and paid for the mother's flight to leave the UK. That was a criminal offence. But the UK police are not interested in it.
Do you think that the mother perhaps would go and to the embassy and try to persuade them that there's been some sort of domestic violence happening and she's fleeing the situation, as a... Would you think that's something that's what happened?
That's the standard story.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's what the Poles say.
Yeah.
They're told to say, if you want to get out of the country, if you want to do anything and keep your child, you have to go with the most horrific allegations that you can come up with.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah, they do. They have very good imagination, and they are genetically equipped to be a victim, I would say. Not meaning anything bad, but yeah.
It's acknowledged the victim status,
Yeah.
I want to be independent, I want to earn my own money, I want to do this, I want to do that, except when except when it suits me. But that's a whole different really. And to be fair, blokes, there's always exceptions to the rule. Generally, hard-working, family-centered, love their children, and love to provide for their families. But there is something happening in society, and it is the destruction of the family unit.
It is.
And it's engineered, to be fair. It's been a long time. And eventually, maybe not in my lifetime, but when you look at things in a wider context, so if you look at the Ukraine and Russian war, so if you believe that the UK Europe is on the brink of a war, not beyond possibility, there will be men who go to die.
Yes.
And they will be expected to go to die. That's not really equality, is it?
Yeah, and if you look at like United Nations, perhaps you are probably very familiar with UN Women.
Yeah.
And they were saying that the actual conflict is not fair towards women because they don't have access to hygienic things and they're losing their husbands. So they're coming up with these sorts of arguments which are just when I see a post from UN Women, it's just turning my stomach upside down. It's just ridiculous, And yeah.
Yeah, the UN Woman thing is most effective woman. Climate change, most effective woman. And it's just propaganda, I'm afraid.
It is.
And the thing is, they're paying for that.
Yeah.
We fund the UN. And we're paying for a propaganda machine which is anti-male. But, and the UN Woman one it needs to be done about that, really.
Yeah, I think the whole establishment of the whole UN is just corrupt ass, and it's wrong. But I tell you something what I'm battling here with now. You probably familiar. You said it yourself. The term parental alienation. You familiar with that? Yeah. And for some reason, in Australian law, family law, the term doesn't exist. It's mentioned, but they call it pseudoscience in family law. And I've been because recently in August this year we had I'm in South Australia, and we had a Royal Commission into family and domestic violence here. So they were working on it over a year and a half. They got some testimonies from people, from the NGOs, and from individuals. And they released a document in August, about 650 pages, and because myself I've been alienated from my son, so I was wondering, because it is domestic violence, there's no doubt about it. It's abuse, it's a child abuse. And I was wondering if anything in the document mentions, parental alienation. There's not even a single word in whole 650 pages about that, on that topic. There's all sorts of things, but not even single words. And so then I went through rabbit hole where and why, why. Then I come up to this family law, and then they quoting United Nations women and some lady that is how they call it. Yeah, she's like a spokesperson for them. Some from Rimi Aslam, yeah. And that's from her. She just made a statement, without any support. There's thousands of psychologists and whole conferences about parental alienation, and everybody's speaking about how harmful it is and how abusive actually it is. And she straight up refused it, and then our local court used it as a reference because she said so, and that's it. That's just ridiculous.
So her report, right, as far as I'm aware, was never published properly. It was never actually ratified by the UN. It was turned down.
They have it on their page, so I'm not sure.
In the UK, there was a massive... what did we do? There was a lot of activity in the UK against findings because they were factually inaccurate.
Yes.
They were misleading. In some contexts, they were just outright lies. The evidence that she was using was from other research individuals who were known only to focus on a certain demographic. Again, the information was misleading. Well, it was challenging, and challenged vigorously. Because what she said is wrong. And she's not a psychologist. She's not appropriately qualified to make the statements she has made. And we've got a couple of people. We've got an active barrister in the UK, quite prominent barrister, and we've got another group of academics who is studying pseudoscience, aka pseudoscience. It's not. So, whilst the term is used, the reality is, it doesn't matter what it's called, basic principles are, it is psychological abuse.
Yes.
Which is recorded as a form of domestic abuse, domestic violence, abuse against the child, coercive control, all of those terms together culminate in elements of parental alienation. So, we can argue over what the generic term is, but the reality is it's abuse.
Yes.
And it's the systematic erasure of a father for no reason from a child's life is abuse of the child and abuse of the father. And it's financial abuse of the father. In the UK, there's just been a case where a mother made false allegations to the father. The court found that the allegations were false. The court found that the father had been alienated from his children. She got legal aid. His legal bill was £378,000.
Yeah, crazy.
That's the price he paid to see his children.
Yeah.
Now, in the UK, there's a thing called the Court Transparency Project. Reporters are allowed into the court. And what that project was taken forward by some scientific people on the basis that they believe that parental alienation didn't exist. And if it did exist, it was used by fathers against mothers. So, when we
have some water, mate.
when these cases are public, more often than not, what is being found is it is the mothers who are doing the alienation. It is the mothers who are doing the abuse.
Yes.
So not only now have we got a lot of academic research around the psychological impact of parental alienation, we've now got the court who are actively telling around saying, no, this is what it is. This is abuse.
Yep.
To actively demonise the father.
Yep. And I think that's precisely why United Nations Women avoid this topic, because it would specifically destroy the feminist propaganda machine, and they would point at women, because I'm not saying all of them, but mainly they do parental alienation. So I think that's the whole reason why they avoid this topic and trying to just get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working with a dad at the moment. His father was abducted to Poland. He went to, he pre-planned it planned it a year in advance. Anyway, he went and got his child back, and they're now in the UK. But her first call, so she made allegations of domestic violence, domestic abuse, rape, but she was the one who abducted the child. Now, luckily, when they went for their first court hearing, the judge saw through what she was saying, and he now has the child, but now he's got to try and keep the child. But even after all of that she's done to him, he is still facilitating a relationship between his daughter and the mother. If it was the other way round, it would not.
Yeah.
And the reason they both went on holiday. He came back from work, she didn't come back. Which, in that period, he'd already started preventing him talking to his daughter. But they were still in a functioning relationship, if you know what I mean. There was nothing untoward. But he picked up the subtle nuances about, she's too busy, she's not well, and they just let him go. That's the best thing he ever did. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, Tom. Is there anything you would like to... You've been through a lot, I have to say. Is there any advice to fathers that going through similar things in a UK or worldwide? Would you have any advice for them?
Okay, so there's some standard stuff. Look after yourself. There's fit in body, fit in mind.
Absolutely.
Don't do the drugs, don't do the alcohol, because
they just make it worse.
They just lead to depression, and you then run the risk of becoming suicidal.
Yeah.
So look after your mental health, look after your physical health. Get help. You need medication. There is no shame in it. That's what it's there for. In a really practical sense, if you're dealing with an abduction or even alienation, choose your friends carefully. Those you believe who are your friends may not be your friends. Stay off social media. Don't give anyone ammunition to use against you. And keep a very close circle of friends. What you need to know that you can trust them, because what FC will and do, there's all your internet pages. They will use anything and everything, any interaction. If you don't see them, they're a body count. You know? Just don't open the door for someone to abuse you as a bad player to your child. Yeah, I mean, and get legal aid if you get it. A lot of solicitors and barristers will do what they call pro bono work. Make a good case. Get support. Reach out. There are people who may be able to help.
Would you like if perhaps some fathers who are in similar situation in England, would you like you to contact them to build up the case, or?
Yeah. I mean, I support an organisation called Both Parents Matter.
Okay, so maybe we would orient them towards them to contact, and they would put up together some paperwork and put the cases together. Yeah,
so Both Parents Matter. I'm happy for people to contact me. I'm not saying I'll be any good because every case is different.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
I always try and help. But I've got to the point where I am quite frank. I'm to the point with people now, mainly because I know what they're going to go through, and there's no point in dressing it up. It's painful.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
So yeah. But both parent matters in the UK. There is an international child abduction group who support fathers. They have access to resources, and it's good. The more fathers that come together to fight against it, the better.
That's exactly what I think, and I'm gonna add contacts in the video. So if anybody's interested, they can shoot them a message, and more of us speak out. That must do something. Otherwise, I have no idea. You know.
That didn't do nothing at all.
That's true.
Complacency. Better not to be complacent and stand up for what you believe in, and fight for your child.
Yeah, fight.
Hopefully, I made the decision that I was going to go public with my kids. I wanted to know, my daughter to know, when she becomes of age, that I never stopped fighting for her.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, do that. And well, what people are always telling me, they grow up and they will realize I'm still my son is 8 years old, so that's probably a long way to go to 18, but that's what I'm doing, just keep in touch and hoping for the best. And there's lots of on the YouTube. There's lots of stories of alienated children, and they all say the same thing. I wish my father had been fighting for me, and until the end. So, yeah, keep up the good work, mate, and thank you very much for talking to me. I'm appreciative for a story, and I feel for you, mate.
No worries.
Same to you, mate. Same to you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.